off we go on EA Sports.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
First carry for Raheem Mostert.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Running the counter with Mostert.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try and run here with Mostert.
He won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on the punt.
Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett.
This is brought in at the 21.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards.
And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
33-yard line.
Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Here's the first carry for Matt Breida.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
And Matt Breida actually had the fastest play of 2019, hitting 22.3 miles an hour on an 83-yard touchdown run, and he was moving here too.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? And he was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
On 1st down, Wilson. Escape. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Nick Vigil. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
They go play action now. Wilson on the move to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
They'll start on the ground with Mostert.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 44, Cousins. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, The defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Cousins now from the 50. That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. Past the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 32 on the play. A cool little accomplishment for him passing the football. 25,000 yards. He just surpassed that for his career.
When he was a little guy in the backyard just throwing it around probably with his dad, he thought about playing in the NFL. He dreamed of it. But to put up these kind of numbers while doing so, that's got to be kind of cool for him. He'll enjoy the heck out of thinking about that when this one is over.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Raheem Mostert, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. All the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are now just an extra point away from moving out in front. Well, you normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into danger Russ. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. On 1st and 10, Cousins. That's caught by his running back, Raheem Mostert. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jordan Brooks in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After a one-point game, 7-6.
7, Vikings 6.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. You know they'd love nothing more than to get a 3-and-out here after having the interception.
And it also tells you a little bit about how they feel about their leader, right? Their quarterback throws an interception in the previous series. They're trying to help him out here with a big stand.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. This time Wilson will throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
No return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Mostert. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Vikings. Raheem Mostert with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game. Well, Raheem Mostert, we know the story, from special teamer to postseason hero. All he needs is a little bit of space, CD, and he can do the rest.
And that's his 2nd touchdown run of this game, and this one add a high degree of difficulty to it as well. I'm absolutely marveling at how effortless he makes this look. I mean, let's face it, he had a long way to go. But how about the vision, the creativity with the football in his hands? It's really something to watch.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to figure out if you can slow someone down while continuing your breakneck pace on offense. I know one thing. The people in the crowd, they're getting their money's worth right now.
And the fantasy owners like it.
Oh, without a doubt. They're just tallying them up, aren't they?
They're watching this game. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. This is Breida. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out in the running game.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And his throw is incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They run with Breida. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Play action. Now Wilson rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he's gone. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks. Touchdown.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag, so they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Mostert. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
First down, Minnesota.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, here's Cousins.
He'll get this into the hands of Mostert.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now this throw caught left side. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one good for 37 yards.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game. And they hit that one there for big yardage.
Here's Mostert. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Raheem Mostert on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21.
That ties the game at 21 apiece.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action with Wilson. And he's got his man on the out route. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
10 yards.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Play action. It's Wilson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Mike Hughes came crashing in that time, got the sack.
25-yard line.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Wilson flush to his right. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain of 28 yards there and give him the 1st down. Well, if you're a fan of offensive football, this game has suited you well. Both offenses continuing to move the ball with relative ease.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of defensive football, you're not having so much fun watching this one. And these coordinators, they've got to be scrambling to figure out a way to counter so far. It may just come down to which one of these defenses can make one stop that could change the course of this game.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. And a little floater there is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation.
Wilson's pass intercepted.
Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this 1st half. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground again here. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
And the Vikings first down.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And this will be a Vikings first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Sliding out of the pocket. He lets it fly for Lockett. And got his man complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 77 yards. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. All the talk when Russell Wilson came into the league about his height, those big defensive linemen, can he get the ball over him? But you get him outside the pocket like that, doesn't really matter.
No, it really doesn't, and you're exactly right. Many people dinged him for that and said, how's he going to see over NFL linemen? He never did, right? At whatever level, he saw through them and found pockets and windows to throw the football. But as you noted, when he's outside the pocket and his vision is totally clear, oh, look out, because he's going to find someone downfield, as we just saw there.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
2nd and 12. Here's Mostert, toss left side. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Throwing, Cousins. The open man is Smith. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Excellent play there on third down. Give him 25 yards.
As the tight end position continues to grow in importance and gain respect, you understand even more why the Vikings selected Irv Smith out of Alabama in 2019 in the second round. They already had a big-time tight end in Kyle Rudolph, but now with Smith, you diversify the offense. You've got two big targets who can go down the middle of the field and make big catches. Expect that trend to continue in 2020.
And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Back to the running game with Mostert. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 29. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. First down. Here's Cousins. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Deebo Samuel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And we are all tied at 28.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the shotgun, Wilson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 13.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Mostert. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Cousins on 1st down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. From 19 yards away. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratch. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
And Russell Wilson gets sacked, and he tied for the most sacks in the NFL last season with 48 in total. But Seattle likes to throw the ball deep. So that means you're going to take more time to get the ball downfield. Sometimes the offensive line can't hold up, and he ends up hitting the deck on those plays.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 25. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them. Melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
2 yards. And it's third down.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. 5 yards on the pickup, and it's going to yield a new set of downs. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. Running the counter with Mostert. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
On 3rd down, here comes Mostert. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead him to 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. Joseph's got it. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
On the return, the Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. A tougher task for them now. That turnover on their last possession led to the field goal, meaning that they have to now try to erase a 2-score deficit here in the fourth. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. As they run the option here on 1st and 10. Wilson slings this out to Metcalf. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. And those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Once again, it's Mostert. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he's got room. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Raheem Mostert, 32 yards. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Vikings. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. They'll roll him out right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
At the 33-yard line.
From the gun, a run with Mostert. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations There'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert. And he will have a Vikings first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And, partner, did you just say that he tied an NFL record there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL-caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the effort.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
On the return, the Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
He's got daylight. 30, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson, 66 yards. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
It'll be Carson. They run for it. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
And they take a knee.
And they will take a knee here.
Tonight's
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll head back. Seattle, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our